AEP is in Guildford, England, and I am standing here with Peter Molyneux, and we're going to be talking now about Fable. The entire world wants to know about this game.
Right, okay.
We've talked about it a little bit in the past.
Yes.
And what I want to know now is more about the details of the story and where we're actually going to be going with the game.
Okay. To start off with, the first thing to remember about Fable, this is an entire life. So you start off as a little kid, not a little baby, obviously. The first challenge you have really are really simple things, because we wanted to start small and grow up big. And then as time goes on, you can start to choose whether you're going to be good or evil by what you do in the world. We don't say, you know, do this quest which makes you evil, do that quest that makes you good. What we do is every quest has an opportunity to be nice or nasty in it.
What kinds of character building elements are there going to be in the game?
You can design your haircut, and you can design what sort of your facial hair is, and things like tattoos, and obviously the clothes. And you've got to allow people to be totally bizarre about this.
Yeah.
So, but also, if you want to, if you want to be truly scary, you can, tattoo yourself. So that's the sort of things that we allow the player to change.
Initially, you guys came up with the idea that you wanted a full sort of immersive character that you could create as you went along, and then the story came out of that?
The first thing was, what is a role-playing game? This is the fundamental thing. And we said, a role-playing game shouldn't be me being someone else's character. It should be me inside the world developing how I want to develop. So part of that, as I've said already, is what your character looks like and how he behaves and how you react to situations. And part of that is the game looking at what sort of things you've done, and those are crude things like, if I use my sword a lot, then I'll tend to be bulkier and I'll tend to be bigger because I've exercised a lot. If I tend to use magic a lot, then I'll tend to be skinnier, I tend to be a little bit wimpier because I haven't been using my sword so much. And that is the evolving side of the character, and how that fits into the story I think is really, really interesting, especially when you start to mix it with this alignment thing.
Now, in terms of the combat and the action sequences that are in the game, is that also going to be real time, or are we flipping to a turn-based system for that?
I quite like turn-based stuff, but I think it somewhat breaks the illusion, and that is a big problem, because some people who play these games aren't particularly dexterous.
Right.
They're not, they don't enjoy fighting games.
They like the tactics.
So what we've done is we've given you an arsenal of magic that allows you to change the combat. We've got things like slow time, for example. If you're finding it tough taking on lots of baddies, then you can always cast slow time. The action slows down a bit, uses a bit of your magic, but you can get those blows in there. We've also got this thing called a combat multiplier, which means the better you are at combat, the more experience that you pick up. You can be pressing this button, you think, great, I'm killing enemies, I'm picking up experience, really nice. But then you realise, what's this other button do? It's called a flourish button, and allows you to use special moves. And it ups this thing called a combat multiplier, which is a thing that you get more experience for. So really, my absolute hope, and I think we pretty much will there now, is that people will be able to not find the ends of the combat. You'll always be able to get a little bit better. And that's just the melee or the sword combat. Then you've got the bow and arrow combat, which you can go close range on. You can take sniper shots with. You can unleash lots and lots of arrows. And again, that's a different kind of combat discipline. So it's the evolution of this personal experience that we can all share as well, and the fact that these amazing things go on. And it still is really cool in the game when you do something which is crazy and the world reacts. I mean, that just makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand.